hymns.
Hello everyone, I am Jenny Axler and welcome to this next video in our series on the SensePlayer. In this one, we are going to explore the Smart Connection function. We'll probably do a couple of videos on this function to make sure to show you all that it can do. In this first one, we will generally go over the Smart Connect options and how to get connected. So let's get to it. So we're going to start out here on the SensePlayer itself, and before we actually initiate the connection, there are a couple of things in the global options that we need to take a look at that affect smart connections. So I'm going to long press the menu key to open the global options dialog.
Global options dialog. Control information after 125 list item.
I'm placed at the top of the global options dialog. What I need is near the bottom, so I'm actually going to up arrow to wrap around to the bottom and go from there because it's faster.
Language. Show folder type. Smart Connect key map. Braille Sense 2325 list item.
So here's the first option that I need to consider. This is the Smart Connect key map, and we have three options. Currently, I have it set on Braille Sense. The default is actually iOS. I can use the left and right arrows to change this option. I'll go back.
Android list item.
We also have Android.
iOS list item.
And we have iOS. And this is actually what I want because I'm going to connect to my iPad. It's very important to set the Smart Connect key map correctly because what we are sending is actually based on the QWERTY commands that these devices know. So even though we're using Smart Connect keys, or rather SensePlayer keys, to send them, what it's actually sending to the device is a QWERTY command that the device will know for the various functions that we're using. This is why you have to choose the correct key map because the same keys on the SensePlayer will send different commands depending on which key map is set. Okay, let me arrow up.
Send audio during Smart Connect on 2225 list item.
This is entirely optional. This allows you to choose whether or not to send audio during Smart Connect. And depending on what you're doing will probably depend on what you want to do in terms of this option. For example, if you're using Smart Connect to remote control media playback, you may have your mobile device connected to another audio source, and in that case, you would not want to send audio via Smart Connect. But if you're wanting to actually listen to the audio via the same device that you are controlling with, or for example, if you're wanting to make a phone call and actually use the SensePlayer to do that, then you would want to send the audio. For now, I'm going to go ahead and leave this set to on. So I will save the global options with the OK key.
Setting complete. File Manager.
So now we're ready to initiate the connection. So now I need to use the Connect key, which is on the upper right of the keypad. This is the rightmost of the square function keys. If I shallow press this key, it will automatically reestablish a previous connection I have. If I long deep press it, it will bring up the pairing list. If I want to establish a new connection, which I do, I will give it a short deep press. So I will do that right now.
Smart Connect.
And I'll give it a second.
Switch to pairing mode SensePlayer OCR5.
So now it tells me that it's in pairing mode. So now I'm going to switch to the iPad. And again, I'm going to establish a Bluetooth connection, not a Braille display connection with VoiceOver, but like a Bluetooth keyboard or HID device connection. So I'll go to Settings.
Settings, one new item. Settings.
And I need to go to Bluetooth.
iPad not backed up, button. Wi-Fi, hit Bluetooth, noted, Bluetooth, on, button. Bluetooth, heading.
And I'll go to this side.
Post mini II sound link, not Braille Edge, Jenny's Air, Magic, other device, in progress. Braille Edge 380, SensePlayer OCR5, button.
And this is what we're looking for, so I'll double tap this.
SensePlayer OCR5, connect alert, Bluetooth pairing request. SensePlayer OCR5 would like to pair with your iPad. Confirm that this code is shown on SensePlayer OCR5. Do not enter this code on any accessory. 0, 5, 1, cancel, button, pair, button.
Okay, and I'm just flicking to the right, and I'll double tap this.
Other devices. Other devices.
iPhone 74 is connected.
So now, if I press the arrow keys on the SensePlayer.
Other devices, heading, in progress, heading. Braille Edge 387. Button.
I'm still in my Bluetooth settings and I'm controlling my iPad now with the Smart Connect. I will go ahead and long press the menu key, which in Smart Connect will take me to the home menu.
Settings. One new item.
So now I am in my home menu. Now you might notice, if you've watched our other videos, that instead of using the up and down arrows to move through items, I'm using the left and right arrows. There's a reason for that. In Smart Connect, we try to make the functionality similar to what we use for touchscreen devices. So the left and right arrows are going to be similar to flicking right and left.
Translation. Services folder. Devices folder. Amazon folder. Korean study folder. 6 apps.
So in this case, the up and down arrow keys will adjust the rotor because flicking up and down generally does that.
Edit mode. Today. App library. Activate. Default. Edit mode. Activate. Default.
As you would expect, though, we do use the OK key to activate items. We do, however, try to use some of the same SensePlayer functions. For example, number 1 will get you to the top,
iOS utilities folder. 13 apps.
and number 7 to the bottom.
App library.
So now I'll press the left arrow,
Dock. Music.
and we'll go ahead and open this with the OK button.
Music. Show sidebar. Button.
And now again, I can navigate the app just as I normally would,
Listen now. My account. Button. Top picks. Heading.
and I can do the same thing. I can get to the bottom if I know what I want,
Mini player. Repeat. Off. Button.
and I get down to the playback controls. If I press number 1,
Show sidebar. Button.
I get back to the Show Sidebar button, and again, if I want to go home, I'll long press the menu key.
Dock. Music.
So we do try to give you a bit of a combination of things that are going to be most sensible with the touchscreen, but also that somewhat emulate what we've already done with the SensePlayer. However, because the key maps are different, because the commands are different, you really are going to want to check the user manual for the key command lists for whatever you're trying to connect to. Now, if you've been paying attention, you might have noticed a small problem here. I had my Smart Connect audio set to on, but the audio did not transfer to the SensePlayer. The reason for this is that I am actually connected to HDMI via USB-C. So that is something to note. If you have your audio otherwise engaged, you can't send it to the SensePlayer. I can simply remedy this by disconnecting my HDMI cable.
iOS utilities folder. 13 apps.
And voila, all of a sudden, now
iOS utilities folder. Other utilities folder. Productivity folder. 5 apps.
you can hear my iOS audio has now transferred into the SensePlayer, and you can hear it via the SensePlayer. You may also be wondering, as you consider this, just how we perform all the various functions of these mobile devices using the limited SensePlayer keyboard. We handle that by utilizing various modes for each key map, and you can change these modes using the menu key.
Web browsing mode. Text input mode. Navigation mode.
And I'm just pressing the menu key repeatedly to
Screen
cycle through the various modes. When you activate or reactivate a connection, it always uses navigation mode by default. This is because this is what you will most commonly use, as this is going to allow you to open programs, navigate your screens. It actually allows you to perform various voiceover functions, get to the notification center, etc. We've only gone through a few of the various keystrokes just to get you basic navigation. I am currently using navigation mode, and I will continue to use that until I open the Notes application. So I'm going to press the right arrow,
Other utilities folder. Productivity folder. 5 apps.
and I'll press the OK key to open my productivity folder.
Productivity. Heading.
And now,
Actions available.
again, I'll use the right arrow till I get to Notes,
Polaris. Numbers. Pages. Notes.
and I'll press the OK key,
Notes. Show sidebar. Button.
and I'm going to go to New Note
Folder actions. New note. Button.
and press OK again.
New note. Note. Text field. Is editing. Character mode. Insertion point at start.
Now it lets me know that I'm in a text field and it's editing, but in order for the number pad to enter text, I need to change to text input mode, because currently it will perform other functions like going to the top with the press of number 1 and the bottom with the press of number 7 and various other operations. So I'm going to press the menu key to change to text input mode.
Web browsing mode. Text input mode.
And now I can enter text. Now, something else to know. Regardless of how your text entry method is set in the global options, whether it is T9 or character selection, you will always use T9 when entering text via Smart Connect. So I can just press the number 2 to enter the letter A.
Cap A.
And you're hearing it announce both on the SensePlayer and the Smart Connection. So once again, I'll press the number 6 twice to enter the letter N.
N.
And we get the same thing. So basically, that is how you enter text. I really don't need to write a new note. So before I can move out of this, I actually need to go back into navigation mode. So I will again press the menu key.
Navigation mode.
And now I'm back in navigation mode, and I'll press the cancel key.
Today, heading.
So now I'm back in the notes list, and I'll long press the menu key to go home.
Notes.
And I'm now back in my productivity folder, and I can press the cancel key to close that. And
iOS Utilities folder, 13 apps.
now I'm back on my main home screen. So as I mentioned previously, there's also a web browsing mode, which I'm not going to demonstrate right now. When you're in this mode, you can use things like number 1 to go to heading, number 2 to go to link, and all the way through all 10 numbers from 1 to 0. However, if those are difficult to remember, you have another option for browsing the web, and also something that you may choose to use in any screen on your iPhone, and the same works on Android as it happens. You can adjust the rotor by pressing pound or star, or rather hash and star.
Characters. Words. Speaking rate. Language. Braille table. Containers. Headings.
And I can go back using the star key.
Containers. Braille table. Language. Speaking rate. 60%.
And then I can use the up and down arrows to adjust the rotor value.
65%. 70%. 65%. 60%.
The same will be true when you're browsing the web. So you may choose to go into web browsing mode, or you may just use the rotor to choose headings, links, etc., and then use the arrow keys to navigate by your chosen rotor setting. So taking a look at this, it may actually look quite complex. This is a very quick overview of the potential of what's possible, what it can do. We will do other videos in future that sort of show this in more specific and practical use cases. For more information about any of our HIMSS products, you can visit our website at www.himsintl.com or send us an email at hims@selvishc.com. Thanks for watching.